Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. That's been all. And joining me through Discord, it is my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, the tank top sage. It's Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
Well, it's called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris?
Hey, not muted.
Yeah. Sure this time.
He made it.
No, that streak is over.
Oh,
it's good,
man.
everybody listening. Unfortunately, we are missing our co-host, right?
Yeah, we're missing our producer. He's basically our third chair here. Brian cannot make it today. A very solemn nanto big news for him. Nantayo, was it? Nantayo big news. But yeah, big news, Morgan. But yeah, he couldn't make it today, so it's just me and Josh. We have our weeklies back. Very excited for that. We have a lot to talk about. So let's not waste any time. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram. And at New Jump City Josh on Twitter.
Oh yeah. Brian's not here to plug his thing, so I'll do it for him. You can follow him at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. He plays video games online for the viewing public. If you guys want to catch him when he's streaming, he's on twitch.tv/itspunchline. Don't ask me when. He just does. So tune in and see when he's at. He really should just shoot a quick tweet out or an Instagram thing real fast and let people know that he's doing it. But
well, for what it's worth, if it's on Twitch and you're following him, it will give you like an alert.
Yeah, it'll let you know. Sorry, I was just increasing your little volume a little bit. Anyway, you can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok as well. Please do. That'd be super nice of you. Give us likes and stuff whenever we post something. If we ever post stuff, that would be super appreciated. If you'd like to send us questions, comments, feedback for the show at all, you can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Email us there, or you can comment underneath the video version of the podcast that's on YouTube, whether it's on the full version of the podcast or the little highlight breakouts we make for you guys for every series individually. You can let us know what you thought about the chapters, what you thought about the show in general, feedback, things like that. That would be super cool. Engage with us, fam. What else? Yeah, we also have the poll on our YouTube, so please subscribe to the YouTube channel for the poll, for the really good chapter of the week poll that we put on YouTube now, because they let us have more options and allow us to have the poll up for longer. So that's where we post our really good chapter of the week poll, and you can vote for your favorite series and we will announce it on the show like we will this week. So check us out there, and like, share, all the stuff you do for YouTube videos you like. Please do them for our show. If you prefer audio podcasts, or you just want to take us on the go one day, you don't really have access to YouTube, we're on Spotify. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. The full version of the podcast is usually on there, along with episodes that are not on YouTube for copyright reasons. So, check us out on all of those platforms and leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening. That would be super helpful. And I think that's it. I think that's all. Let's get into the show proper. One Piece. One Piece. This is This is One Piece chapter 1072, The Weight of Memory. And we have a little update to the cover page here. The little cover page story that Oda is telling this time around. I think we're seeing like the beginnings of the artificial devil fruits within the Mads stuff. They said it's a mass-produced weapons of slaughter. We see Judge with that spear he always carries around. Caesar has a smile fruit. Queen has 2 beakers. I don't know what beakers. Bunsen burners.
Yeah.
I don't know the technical term. Sciencey bottles.
He's scienced out.
Oof, they're so scienced out.
Pretty lit.
Yeah. And you know they're doing evil stuff because they're Mads. Vegapunk is not in this. This is just, I guess, the real troublemakers of the mad scientist group.
Yeah, right. Vegapunk somewhere feeding a fucking devil fruit to a gun.
Yeah.
He went to hide somewhere so he wouldn't be judged.
Hey guys, I gave the hamster fruit to this nuclear weapon. You guys think isn't that cool? Isn't that cool?
You think?
Yeah. But anyway, we start off the chapter proper with Bonnie and Vegapunk going after each other. You know, Bonnie is chasing Vegapunk for answers as to why he did what he did to Kuma, you know, turning him into a robot without any agency of his own, basically a slave to the celestial dragons. And Bonnie's pretty tight about that because that's her dad. And he's like, why'd you do that to my dad? And Vegapunk is desperately trying to run away from her to not reveal the answer. This is a very interesting thing that happens when Bonnie pretends to be a little girl crying on the floor. Her powers are like the age fruit. She can shift her age to whatever she feels. And Vegapunk gets concerned because, you know, he falls for Bonnie's crocodile tears. And Bonnie gets up and uses this technique called distorted future, where she like bulks up into adult size, but she makes herself really bulky. And I have like an interesting theory about this that may be out there and may have already been answered in the next chapter, because we are a little late this week. The raw scanlations are more. Oh, not the raw, but the scanlations.
Did you get spoiled already?
The scanlations are more than likely out by the time we're actually recording this on a Thursday. But this may be answered.
Has there been a week where you haven't been spoiled?
I haven't been spoiled. I don't know what happens next chapter, but I do know the pages are out there and they're translated by scanlations. They're
out there somewhere.
I'm telling you what. I actually almost got spoiled once this week and I dodged it.
I'm proud of you, Chris.
Yeah, it's tough out here. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll share it here. I'll share it after when we give our bigger thoughts. But I think this is a very interesting application to her abilities that we've only ever seen her age herself or make herself younger. But bulking her body is a very interesting and different thing that you could do with age. In any case, Vegapunk continues to run away, and Bonnie hits him with this age skewer, which just pops out all of Vegapunk, these like crystals out of Vegapunk, and turns him into a little boy. Kind of he's still got that like apple thing on his head, but he's a child at this point. And he's like, no
wrinkles.
He's like, is this shining material supposed to be my age? He's like, you've turned me into a powerless child.
He said, give back the sparkling gems of my experience. It's funny because I didn't think about that until now, but that is a nice, flavor of her power. You know what I mean? To be able to do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people say that, like, like how they say like experience is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth its weight in gold or something like that. Like I just thought that was nice.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Bonnie picks up Vegapunk. She's like, you said there's a good reason for what you did, so let's hear it. Why did you kill my father? And Vegapunk still hesitating to do so. In the meantime, as he's talking, we see that Kuma is now climbing the red line, trying to get to Mary Joie. And he mentions that he can't tell Bonnie because the truth will only hurt her. and that's the reason why he made a promise to Kuma that he would never tell her the reason why. Um, and Bonnie, understandably, is still not satisfied with that answer. She's like, "You'd say that you had a good reason for killing my father, but you won't tell me." Is like, what? You think I'm fucking stupid that I'm gonna believe that shit? And Vegapunk's like, "Hey, it wasn't even my call. The decision to do this came from Kuma himself." And she's like, "No, he would never do that. He would never leave me behind for that." And Vegapunk's like, "Hey, it was hard on me too. Kuma's a great man, and he was my friend, and I was so proud of him. And I love him with all my heart. But you got to understand, man, it wasn't. I can't. That's why I can't tell you." And Bonnie just gets frustrated and tosses him to the ground. And at that point, she hears this beeping, and Bonnie goes over to this door, and she like erodes it with her abilities. I think she could also age inanimate objects too, because she causes the thing to erode, assumingly by making it older and just advancing it to a point where it's not structurally sound anymore. And then the doors unlock, and we see a giant paw bubble, like we've seen with the thing that Zoro absorbed when Kuma took all of Luffy's pain out back in Thriller Bark. And at that point, Vegapunk starts to get a flashback of the point where he was sitting down with Kuma, and Kuma, I guess, was like talking about his powers and how specifically his powers take pain and give it visible form. And he can foist it onto others. It's like sending peripheral nervous systems signals via radio instead. So he starts to think, is like, oh, what about the mind and the heart? Then can you do the same thing for these things, because these are signals emitted by neurons? Can you also do this shit with memories? Basically, can you like give memories a physical form? He's just like begging him to help him like figure this out. And Kuma's like, "You want me to embarrass myself?" He's like, "No, please. It could be great for science." And we see that we cut back to the present, and Vegapunk is like, "Don't you dare touch that, Bonnie. That is pain. You should know Kuma's powers, enough pain to be lethal." And Bonnie just looks at it and says, "No, I know my father's powers very well. This is my father's memory, isn't it?" And this is all interwoven over Kuma just getting shot by a bunch of Navy soldiers, getting blasted off the red line, and now he's fighting Navy soldiers to get back onto the red line. And at that point, we cut over back to the satellites and the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats are reacting to Lucci and the rest of CP0 arriving to the Labo phase and bringing the Seraphim with him.
Oh man, they're fucking scared.
Yeah. Well, actually, it actually like turns out to be a blessing in disguise, because Lucci is like, "Oh, I didn't give them the order to come," because at this point, now that they're like close enough to Vegapunk, they are now higher than CP0 on the authority chain. So basically, now that they're close enough, they don't really listen to the CP0 anymore. They're back on the side of the Vegapunks. So a couple, Lilith and I forget the third one, but the little guy runs off, and they try to get orders transmitted to the Seraphim to defend them against the CP0. And yeah, wait, Nami is, oh yeah, I think Nami orders Sanji and Frankie to kind of go with them. I guess to protect the ship or whatever. They send Sanji away to do something. Meanwhile, Brook and Zoro are on the ship still fighting Kaku, who is in his awakened giraffe form. I guess there it is.
There it is.
Weirdly enough, it's a shame we don't get to like really see it. He's just kind of in motion right now fighting Zoro, so we don't get like a cool panel where it's just what it looked like. But
it kind of looks like a dragon, like a serpent dragon.
I mean, it looks
like
it looks like it would look cool because he has also the black fire stuff around him, um,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. But yeah, Zoro has pretty much got his hands full with Kaku right now. Um, and oh, I guess the Seraphim are still under the control of the CP0 as long as the Vegapunks don't have like direct access to them. I guess they have to send the orders out. So they're still under the control of the CP0, the Seraphim. And he orders the Seraphim to destroy the Labo phase. They just start to blast away. And Kaku's like, haha, that's quite the light show. Go ahead and finish our mission with them, for us. And then all of a sudden, he hears a chomp. And who's down there? But it looks like a woman. And all of a sudden, Kaku just faints. And Lucci looks
like
over
that.
to see Stussy with these like black vampire wings of some sort. And she's like, "What are you doing, Stussy?" And we get a massive twist here as we see Stussy being like, "What did I do? I only put him to sleep." And now, Lucci, I'll ask you to do the same. As it's revealed that Stussy this entire time is actually just a clone of Miss Buckingham Stussy of the Rock Pirates. And that's where the chapter ends. Man, what a crazy chapter. But yeah, let's get into thoughts. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1072?
Starting from what we just like finished reading, I did not see this coming. Not even a little bit. I guess I'm not surprised that somebody from the Rocks Pirates is still alive because they're not that old. I mean,
They're
Kaido
pretty
was on the
old.
Rocks Pirates and Big Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't look old at all. But I guess it's One Piece and it doesn't really need to make sense.
Well,
In all
she's a clone.
fairness.
She's not like
Right,
the real
but-
Stussy.
But they believed it was Stussy
They did believe it
of the
was
Rocks
Stussy.
Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know what they believed. I don't know if they knew she was
Okay.
part of the Rocks Pirates.
Her name was always Stussy, right?
Mhm.
But she was. I can't tell if they always knew she was with the Rocks Pirates or like that she like an ex.
Well, she was like a Mads.
I'm confused.
I guess she was a Mads clone experiment. So that means like the government knew about her, but I guess they figured that because she is just a clone of Stussy, of the real Stussy that was in the Rocks Pirates, that they pretty much had a handle on her. Like,
Right.
she's not the real Stussy. She's just like some like a clone of Stussy they can control.
Right. So her being the clone is kind of. I guess it remains to be seen what that means. Because in my opinion, it could have just been regular Stussy, and that might, it wouldn't have changed that much for me. I don't know. Maybe this is implying that Stussy is on Vegapunk's side, since he was, part of the Mads experiments. He was down with Mads in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she does mention that like she's been to Egghead before, and she has a relationship, I guess, with Vegapunk to some degree. She has to.
Because why else would she attack them?
Yeah.
I mean, they are going against the government's orders technically.
Well, maybe this is
Right.
who Vegapunk was calling. I don't know if you remember, like the last chapter, Vegapunk called someone up, and they were like, "I was just waiting for your order." Maybe it was her.
Right. Yeah, she's probably the reason, the person that brought the Seraphims up as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, aside from that, I'm really interested in Kuma's backstory. I'm low key hoping it's a lengthy, really deep one. It doesn't have to be like it's a whole entire arc to itself. Maybe like 2 or 3 chapters. I would enjoy that. Something on the level of a Tiger Shark.
Yeah.
right? That was his name.
Yeah. Fisher Tiger.
Fisher Tiger. Yeah, the Sun Pirates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully something like that, something similar, something really dramatic and with a lot of lore and something to kind of keep us focused and kind of point us, like something to kind of give us something in the emotional tank to keep us driving forward for the next few arcs, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Because we've been getting a lot of information so far, but nothing gut wrenching yet. Nothing that kind of, you know what One Piece is good for. They're good for drawing those emotional strings that keep you engaged on top of everything else that's good about it. Um, anyway, it was cool seeing Zoro fight against the Giraffe Man again. I
Yeah.
like how he developed a new technique and just kind of was like, yeah, I'm about to, like, you don't even know, man. Like,
Yeah.
not only was I already strong enough to beat you, but I got a special technique for motherfuckers like you.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, he's already knocked out, but Zoro won that, and I'm sure he could beat Lucci too. And I'm gonna tell you this: if Luffy decided to take a nap for a year, I'm sure Zoro could lead the crew and get the One Piece.
Probably. I mean, he has the strength for it.
I think he has the strength for it too. I remember my friend, my friend and coworker Greg used to say that Law would beat Zoro. I
Yeah.
disagree with him because at the end of the day, one's just not as gangster as the other. There's just no way around it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good argument.
Yeah, that's all we do here at New Jump City. Airtight debates, airtight points.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
not a lot
in
of
our
not a lot of room for
arguments.
debate on our points.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Were those all
Guess I
your
said
thoughts?
everything I had to say. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Imagine. Wait. Imagine the bubble. It isn't really memories. It truly is pain. It's just from this one time something happened,
Yeah. That
and
would
he's
be
like,
unfortunate.
I told you. I tried.
Yeah.
This is the second time. The
Yeah.
first time with the lightsaber, and the second time
With the
because you
bugs.
thought you knew who your dad was. He
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about you. He turned into a robot.
What I tell you,
And fucked my brother.
it was literally pain. I said what I said. Were those all your thoughts?
Those are all my thoughts. Brian,
Brian's not here.
what do you have to say?
Brian's not here.
I know.
Anyway.
I know.
Okay, so I have a theory. It's probably out there, and it's probably going to be a wrong theory. We're very wrong on this show a lot. We're like 0 for a billion on theories, I feel. But here's my crazy theory regarding Bonnie's powers. So, a little bit of context. We know that just because you ate a devil fruit power doesn't mean that you necessarily know what the power really is.
Fact. It's not like something comes out and it's like, hey, this is what I do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's no spirit in the fruit.
Yeah. We know that she is royalty of a certain kingdom, and she only became a pirate to really look for Kuma. We know that her powers are the age fruit, as we've seen them. She can increase and decrease the ages of herself, of their people. She can extract knowledge out of people, it seems now. You know, like, you know, the wealth of experiences they've had, even.
I don't know if she can access them, but she can
No, yeah, she can
definitely
extract
take them out of people.
Yeah, I said extract.
That's true. Yeah, you didn't imply that she could synthesize them.
Yeah. And now we have this new wrinkle to her power where she can change the bulk of her body and make herself stronger, which I don't know, doesn't sound like it would mesh or make sense with that very straightforward ability.
Right. Because just because she's getting older, what you get really strong at some point, that don't make sense.
And
I mean, she had little legs, so it's like what she only made her torso grown.
well, we've
But
seen her
why?
adult form already, so like we know what she
Exactly,
looks
and
like as an adult. It's not that.
It's not buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the name of the attack is Distorted Future. I think that Jewelry Bonnie is the current holder of the Time fruit that Momonosuke's mom had.
She said, but her powers are the age powers, right?
Yeah, but she has a distorted future. So what if the Time fruit's abilities doesn't really necessarily it can age people and push them further in time. It can I guess extract the age out of somebody in theory, but it can also bring you to like modify your body to an alternate future. So this distorted future is she's reverted her body to an age to a future where she is this powerful, this physically strong. Like an alternate reality almost.
Yeah.
Kind of warping time and space in a way.
That's pretty deep. Just, making that link off of that because of that attack. Because another way to look at it without that level of depth is that it's just a goofy ass attack that he didn't really think all the way through. That like what you aged your biceps. I don't get. It doesn't imply that you're gonna be a fucking bodybuilder.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense. So maybe it's her power going out of wrong. But you're right. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
So,
and I could be wrong. And hey, if I am right, I need you guys to know that I don't know what happens in the next chapter. We're recording on a Thursday today, so I'm sure all the scans are out and people have read next chapter. I have not, I swear to God. Swear to God. But if this is true, I just want you to know that.
All right.
I am also...
This is a hat.
It is indeed.
What's another word for hat?
Cap?
Yes. Yes.
I did not.
You read the scan.
I did not.
You know exactly what's happening next week. Why don't we start covering it? Let's go.
No, I have no idea.
Was that the end of your thoughts?
No.
We're gonna move
First
on
of
to
all,
1073 now.
I did not read it. I swear. I could be wrong.
Oda.
All the
lettering by.
I'm gonna say this. I also think my theory is pretty out there. I'm not gonna put all my eggs in it. I wouldn't bet money on it. It was just a passing fancy there. A thought.
I put a $6 ticket on that.
Okay. All right. Well,
I would.
Well,
and I take the over too.
That's risky on my end, on your end.
What would the over be? That you're right, and it happens next chapter, and the under would be you're right, but it happens later down the line that we find out.
I guess it would have to be the number, like over a certain number of chapters, that we find out. But anyway, that's my thought on that. I just had an idea. I could be wrong, and I did not read the chapter going forward. I did not. I support official releases. I'm a square. I'm Mr. Legal Eagle. I try my best. Cap. All right, Josh doesn't believe me. I have no idea. I could be wrong, and then when I'm wrong, I'll be exonerated from being accused of cap. But till then, I guess Josh is just going to straight up not believe his friend.
Yeah. On this one.
Okay. Kuma storing his memories in a paw thing. I think it is literally pain. It's like, I feel like if it's any pain, it's probably going to be mental trauma, which is pretty sad. I guess it would have to elicit some kind of physical response in order for Kuma to be able to relay it. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I don't know how memories work. But in theory, yeah. I think if Bonnie touches it, she's gonna actually literally feel everything he's felt through the process of what's contained in these memories.
Right. Like she's gonna experience everything he went through.
Yeah, like she's basically gonna be him.
And she's not hard body like her dad. That's who she looked like. She looked like her dad in a distorted future.
That's true. Yeah, her dad is top heavy, barrel chested man.
Very small legs.
Yeah, very tiny legs.
I miss the long leg tribe
Yeah.
and the long arm tribe too.
Yeah.
I miss both of them. Damn, who was cooler?
The long leg or the long arms?
Uh-huh.
Man, I don't know. There's a long leg on the Fleet. You know, the one that was in Dressrosa. One of them is long legs. And he kicks pretty cool. He's a kicker. He kicks pretty good.
That is pretty cool. But the long arm guys, they were working with Brooke.
Apu's part of the long arm tribe.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's why his arms is like that?
Yeah. And also the fruit, but he's a long arm tribe member.
Right, yo. Oh God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Did I just say that?
That's so cool.
Oh God, that's so cool.
Kaku's awakened form is pretty funny. I wish we had more time with it and him swearing it was cool regardless. You know, like people are still like, you may be awakened, but you're still a giraffe. And he'd be like, giraffes are cool.
Yeah, and I'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Happy for Kaku.
Yeah. Feel bad for Kuma though. He's going through lots of stuff right now.
Oh, one more thing about Stussy. The only thing I really have to say about Stussy right now is that, like, if you can make clones out of the Rocks Pirates, are there other Rocks Pirates that they've made clones of? Who else is a clone in this world? Are there multiple former famous pirates that are now clones out there? Are there dead characters that are cloned? Could you clone Cobra and make him some kind of false head of Alabasta? Can you clone?
Why do I keep talking about Cobra? Who is this nigga, man?
Vivi's dad.
Oh shit! No, not him. That's somebody else. Never mind. I'm a crazy guy.
Yeah, you're a crazy
guy.
There's a million
Virgo.
characters.
I don't remember Virgo.
You could, in theory, you could clone Virgo, but I don't think they cloned Virgo. Yeah, I don't think they cloned Virgo.
Because he's the grandfather of hockey.
No, he's not the grandfather of hockey.
I mean, for the series, in real life, yeah.
No, he was just particularly skilled in armament hockey, and that was his whole thing.
Was anybody else using it before him?
Yeah. No, he just had like he was just like, that was his strong suit.
They fought Virgo when?
Punk Hazard.
Oh shit. Yeah, I completely forgot everything that happened in that arc.
Yeah.
All right.
You need a refresher, bro.
I do.
But yeah, that's my little.
Is this your favorite chapter?
Oh, yeah, I would say this was my chapter of the week. How about you? Not.
No.
All right. Well, this is my really good chapter of the week. Where
it was top 3 for sure, though.
Very good.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
A really good chapter. I'm very
How
excited.
the audience feel about that?
It's not the winner, unfortunately. But hey, if you guys want to vote for One Piece, subscribe to the podcast and follow us for the poll there. The poll goes up every Sunday after the chapters come out on the official release, and you get to choose your favorite. Thanks for reminding me, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I got to say about One Piece. Fantastic chapter. My favorite chapter of the week so far. Hopefully it keeps it going. Luckily, it's back next week. There's no break I have to anticipate. I mean, it's been off for 2 weeks already, so it better not. But very excited for what's to come with One Piece. Any rebuttals? Anything? Any last words?
Nah.
All right, let's move on. My Hero Academia.
Brian, why?
Yeah, Brian. It's a shame not to have Brian here. But this is My Hero Academia, chapter 378. The story of how we all became heroes, part 4. Last we left off, what's his face? I almost called him Stigma, but I know his name is it's the villain guy, that the hacker villain. Skeptic, thank you. I almost called him Stigma. Skeptic was hacking UA systems, and he was pretty excited about that. But then he got counter-hacked by La Brava.
And her Renegade.
Yeah, and her Renegade. That's so true. She should be out there fighting All For One right now. She's got a fucking Renegade.
Almighty push.
Almighty push.
Instead, she's pushing these memes. Skeptic. By the way, did you look this up by any chance? The pump dance?
No, I don't know. What is?
I looked up like 4 different videos.
Is that a thing?
So, like, I'm not gonna do the whole dance, okay?
Okay.
But the part that they're doing, all right, I know you've seen this dance before, right? When
oh, you dropped your phone.
Oh shit. I dropped everything.
Damn.
And my tablet. Okay. Sorry for those listening on the pod. You won't be able to see this.
But you what subscribe to us on YouTube.
I forget the name of the fucking dance, but it's like, what is it like?
You tell me. Oh, really? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's that.
I think I know what you're talking about. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm dumbing out. I can't remember, but he's like they hit the thumbs back like that.
Yeah.
But it's a whole dance. There's a bunch of moves and shit.
Oh, that's that Fortnite one.
Yeah, but no, they this is different. But they incorporated that one Fortnite dance into it. But they put the thumb up. But it's so fucking hilarious because I'm watching a bunch of different videos to see that one part where the cat is doing that, you know?
Yeah.
And like that's only maybe what, like 5% of the dance.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this whole thing, like, and most of the videos I'm watching is these Japanese VTuber videos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know what a VTuber is.
Yeah. But then it's not a VTuber. It's just like animated. Like they're like animated dancing, but it looks whatever. Look.
I thought that was really funny. Where it was like, the pump dance? Make it stop. Turns out La Brava hacked Skeptic before in like while he was like working as a shut-in, and now she just came back to haunt him. So even though like Skeptic is freaking the fuck out, he's off to like I guess counter hack La Brava. All the meanwhile UA is still plummeting to the ground. So they're like, hurry up and do something. And she's just trying to figure out how to like get everything up and working again. And Sukauchi, the recurring detective that we've seen, that usually works with the heroes. He's just overhearing this cop yelling at La Brava, being like, we should have known it would be a bad call to leave our final line of defense to a convicted villain still in custody. And Sukauchi's like, a crime is a crime and we can't erase the past, but it's not always a lost cause. And he flashbacks to Aoyama, I guess implying that Aoyama is not a lost cause. Meanwhile, Midoriya and Shigaraki are still doing their heroes and villains stare down. All of the heroes are like kind of reeling at the UA falling and trying to figure out, try to fucking do damage control as best they could with all these twices running around. And the guys in the fighter pilots are like watching on in this, but then one of them looks over and is like, wait, who's that? And descending from the skies, it seems, or like flying upward, is a very familiar face. Very fucking little cool moment. We see that as Skeptic is leaving, he gets intercepted by a couple of the characters from the other school. I remember this kid, the vibrational kid, and Miss Joke here.
Mm.
And they seem to catch up Skeptic. And Sukaochi looks on, saying, "It's up to you, Tobita." And we get a full view of a gentle criminal descending from the skies, looking cool as shit, very excited.
Very cool.
Very cool. And we get a flashback to the initial jailbreak, that released a bunch of criminals, including Muscular. And a lot of the characters a lot of the villains were stopped on their way by Gentle Criminal, who is just like trying to get them to not escape prison. And is like, "Is this what you really want?" And he's just trying to do his part and be a hero. And of course, the villains are like, "Of course, this is what we want," and they all mob him. We I guess the rest is history. They beat him up. We get this really dope panel of him in a pose like this with the water splashing all around him.
Mhm.
I just wanted to shout out that panel because it's pretty fucking rad. But yeah, Gentle Criminal tried his best to keep everybody away. And wait, 7 prisons. Oh, and he stopped everyone. I didn't even notice that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stopped everyone from escaping this prison using his abilities. And he's just beat. Gentle Criminal is just beat up, and he's like, "What is it that you want, Tobita?" And all he wants is to see La Brava, and to ... And La Brava's he's like, "I'm as greedy as stubborn as they come, and your joy brings me loads more joy of my own, Gentle." And we see that he uses his abilities. As we all know, like La Brava has the ability to super boost somebody's power, depending on how much she
Oh
loves them.
yeah. I thought he was taking the one of those enhancers.
Nope, that's La Brava, Blue Lantern charging his abilities basically, and Gentle is able to create an entire realm of elasticity in the air that saves Yue from plummeting to the ground. And yeah, he starts to reminisce is like on that fateful day to save someone who'd fallen. He says, I guess he's recalling one of what the security guards are asking. He was like, "Tell me, boy, do you once again find yourself fighting for the joy of others?" And he starts to think, "Yes, to be service to others was my hope." And yeah, Yue is saved currently. We get one of the visages from All for One, who is Banjo, the Black Whip hero, and he shouts out that like the balance is broken. He's starting up again. So Shigaraki starts to touch the ground, I guess, to use his decaying power. And right before he does, a bullet comes through and basically cuts off his arm. And Sukaochi is narrating over Midoriya seeing all this happen. And there's like, no matter how much they've fallen, each villain is still a human being. It's on us to recognize that about them. We absolutely have to. To borrow a phrase from a friend, deep within each of our hearts, we'll find the starting point, their origin. And we see a big panel of Lady Nagant pretty much stitched together and using her sniper ability to basically save the day from miles away. Pretty cool sniper move. And that's where the chapter ends. Wowee. Josh, what did you think about My Hero Academia chapter 378?
This shit was gangster. This was actually my favorite chapter of the week.
Hey!
Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this was probably my
Yeah, I would probably say that.
I won't mark anything down. I'll just wait. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Well, before I talk about what one of the chapter for me was your man showing up, Gentle Criminal. let's make no mistake, they're weird. Okay, the dynamic, the relationship dynamic between Gentle and La Brava, I don't like it. It's really creepy to me.
Well,
He's,
La Brava is
I know she's
21.
probably a grown woman,
Yeah.
but huh?
La Brava is 21.
Right. It's fine. I'm just saying it still looks weird, and it's like, why would you go out of your way to make something look like this? But different cultures, right? Whatever. Aside from that, I didn't know how to take his him coming back like to the manga, I guess. At first, it was cool. It was like, oh shit, like he's back. But obviously, I wanted to kind of inspect it with a critical lens because in this chapter they're talking a lot about heroes and villains and stuff. So if we go all the way back to the beginning, this is weird. This is weird line that's like, all right, it's on page 415 where they say, "I am your villain. I don't care if you don't understand. That's what makes us heroes and villains," right? So I'll be honest. I'd like to know what you think about that too, Chris. But I don't know what to me, that doesn't mean anything. You know, like it sounds like they're just saying like, yeah, these things are the way they are. Like these people are villains, and that's that. But it's weird because then later on in the chapter, right? You have this detective talking about how villains are still human beings and all of that. And I don't know. I
I have
it's just
a. I
confusing.
think I understand, and it's going to be hard to explain because my Horikoshi is, I guess, like in when he gets into like the theoret the not the theoretical the thematic things that he's going for and the way he makes characters express them, they're a little vague in a way. But I think there's a contrast being drawn here between what Shigaraki uh believes is the hero's perspective and what Tsukuyoshi understands about uh just villains in general as well, because we see that the chapter starts off with Shigaraki saying that I don't care if you understand, or I guess implying that it doesn't matter if you understand it, like even if you say you do, you don't. And a lot of, like, he's like, it doesn't matter if you understand what I'm going through or not, you know but that's what makes us heroes and villains, is that these are irreconcilable points of view in Shigaraki's eyes, that he would never understand me. He won't understand why I do what I do. And that's why we'll always just, like, heroes and villains just are destined to fight each other through violence all the time. Because that's part of All for One's whole thing, is just like, they've made mentions of, like, or even Shigaraki is just like, you guys solve every problem by beating people up and throwing them in jail. There's there's a sense of just not understanding why people do things the way they do,
Yeah.
or why people are the way they are. And Shigaraki in that moment is like, well, then if that's the case, then it doesn't fucking matter if you understand. I still have to do what I have to do. And the contrast being drawn with Tsukauchi is just like, he's understanding that, like, villains are people too. Like, they have the capacity to change and to do better and to, you know, be an asset to society if we give them the opportunity, which we see with, obviously Gentle and Lady Nagant and all that
Mhm.
stuff. But I think that's what I drew from it. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong on that,
Yeah.
or if anybody read it
No,
differently, but
my thing is I agree with you. I do. I 100% agree with like what you're saying on paper. I think that like a lot of that makes sense. Especially with I like how you said that with Shigaraki, where it was like it comes down to the point that heroes at a time were just doing what they did because they labeled us all as one. That's just villains that needed to be dealt with and jailed. You know what I'm saying? Like dealt with violently and then locked up, and then that's that. Like that was their role as heroes, and then his role as villains. Now I kind of get what's being said. I guess what kind of threw me off is that, I can't speak for other countries around the world, but definitely here in America, when you look at like what people are actually going to jail for, like a large, way more. I don't know the actual number, but it's a lot more than 50%. I think it's a little bit over 60% that majority of people locked up in prison are for non-violent crimes,
Hmm.
and even the ones that are like a lot of the cases that are violent crimes are like, police like police assault and stuff like that, which you could argue is initiated by cops a lot of the time anyway. That's neither here nor there. I'm trying to say is that, like, when we look at what what is a criminal, right? What is a not villain. I'm going to separate criminal from villain, because villain and hero, those are more like theoretical terms in my opinion. When you look at a criminal, it's someone that breaks the law, right? But the law is just something we make up. You know what I mean? It's not like these laws of nature. Like, if water gets heated up to a certain degrees, it's going to turn into a vapor. Like, that's the truth no matter what. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
certain laws are not the truth everywhere else around the world. You know what I mean? And they change every year. You know what I'm saying? We have new laws, come and go, et cetera, et cetera. So people are criminals because they break laws that we create. So what is what's how do we look at it? Like, all right, what do we do when you start to understand that laws are set up for certain people to not succeed? Or laws just aren't in favor for like a group of people. Like, for obvious example, Jim Crow era laws. I mean, you could go to jail for voting. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Hmm.
you're considered a criminal. You feel me? So when they have all this rhetoric about like villains are humans too, or they can just change and stuff like that, and I feel like it's good for the story. It's a really cool message for the story. But in real life, I don't think it is about any of these people. You know what I'm saying? I think, when you look at it this way, when you put it on the people, it's easy to kind of turn away from the actual systems that create these issues. You know what I mean? So it's everyone listening that's been listening for a minute, with me, my relationship with My Hero Academia, that I'm pretty sensitive to when it comes to law enforcement and the dynamic of the hero and villain society. So I just think it's important for everyone to be aware, like, criminals, like, people are labeled criminals. It's not like it's like this undeniable truth. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, you're a thief. You're a criminal if you steal something, right? Like, that's breaking a crime. But what if you're starving? What if it's someone that's starving? I think that's okay. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
think that's like, there's nuance to that. So we always have to remember that, like, you know what I mean? Like, just because people are in jail, we can't, they're not just automatically bad people that need to fucking
Yeah.
change fundamentally or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's what they're trying to say here. That's what the villains, at least like the core group of the villains, the League of Villains here. All these
Yeah.
people they're criminals in a technical sense, and it's a more dramatic sense with My Hero villains because they've actually murdered people,
Right.
and jazz and all that stuff. So technically, they are criminals, but I think like the message is that there is an underlying issue. It is that like question of what if they're starving? Like, yes, Toga murdered people. Yes, she killed like a couple students, like at her class, but she's mentally ill. Like,
Oh, well, I want to be clear here. Murder is pretty.
Yeah,
That's very different.
it's an extreme. These are extreme examples, obviously,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it is like attempting to kind of like draw these lines. Like uh Shigaraki is also a murderer, and you could argue a mass murder, but also like the society that has been the status quo that as exists was one that allowed him to really slip through the cracks. And when you, I guess, have these extreme examples, if you're like buying like the Shigaraki as like a figure in a thesis, you would understand that like there would be somebody in the world that would fall through the cracks of what was supposed to be a perfect system of law enforcement, being very angry at this system and wanting to strike back at the system. And this is how, I guess, like extremist people are, kind of born. It's, if you want to like take this argument and be like there's an origin that, and there's a root cause, a systemic root cause for most criminals. I think that's what Horikoshi's trying to do with all of the at least core groups of the League of Villains.
Right. Even if he's not doing it well at all with articulating it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he is
can
not
agree with you that
he's not articulating well.
it is implied. It's not like this completely random
No.
fucking, 70s or 80s era Batman villain. You know what I mean? It's
No,
like,
it is kind of brutal with My Hero Academia, where we're getting these rush chapters because, and we talk a lot about how like the League of Villains was received in Japan, and these are all just things we've heard on the internet. They seem to be true, and I feel like that kind of fucking sucks when the main thesis of your story, which are the League of Villains, they're almost all like secondary. They're like supporting casts almost, in a way. They're almost like protagonists in and of themselves. I feel Horikoshi intended, just because of how much he wanted to tell through them. Like a lot of the world building was probably contained within these characters.
yeah.
A lot of the world that we don't see, we see through Toga, we see through Spinner, most of all, to be honest. Like Spinner is supposed to be a representative of all this underlying discrimination that we didn't really get to see throughout the series. And there's just like
Right.
so much of the world that are within these characters. And from what I understand, he probably wasn't really allowed to go deeper with them in his own time because of the poor reception of the My Villain Academia arc, supposedly. So, I'm sure that like if and I'm not denying that it's not true because I could buy it, but if it is true, I'm sure his editors advised him to kind of like shift focus from them, which was a bummer because you could tell that he really got a kick out of writing these people and had a lot to say through them, but we don't have enough time with them. So yeah, it's hard to it is tough to grade My Hero Academia on its own merit, given what we know about the complications of its creation and its production.
Yeah, that's not. You know what? I'm honestly willing to look past that. Well, not even willing. I have to be frank with you.
Same.
That is kind of the lens I look at it through the series. That
Mm-hmm.
it is definitely toned down, and I hate to drag him for it, but what can I do? You know what I mean? He should have took a stand. What can I say?
Yeah,
Man, who am I to say that? I'm not gonna judge him, but I'm, I have my opinion on that. But anyway, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it just,
when you look at the people that came out the prison, I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying it was just like not the same after My Villain.
It wasn't. It wasn't, and I feel like it happened during My Villain too.
Yeah,
because you see how he wrapped it up and set up this whole war thing literally immediately after. That was it. You know what I mean? That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Honestly, that was literally it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it right there. I mean, I didn't care for the overhaul arc that much. I didn't.
Overhaul was before that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't. Sometimes I feel like it started that me starting to not care for the series as much started there, but that's not true. I was disappointed, but I was still looking ahead. And then after when it got to the war arc is when I guess I started to feel like, oh, All right,
Mhm.
this is not good. Anyway, I just I wanna finalize this point I'm making. When you had Gentle Criminal at this prison, right? And he's holding his hand out to stop people, and he's like, "Please consider just like this is not the right answer to leave the prison and go out." In this situation, he is doing the right thing because look at all of these people. What are they all saying? We want to murder. He's like, damn right. He's like, is this really what you desire to fucking burn the world down and wild out? And he was and it's only one person saying damn right, but he stopped the entire prison. Look at him. That's what it's implied. Like he fought damn near like an entire villain base. So it's just weird. It's just weird to me, Chris, because things are not adding up. And I don't know if you're understanding. Like, I thought Hero Society was fucked up, right? And things needed to change and things were fucking unfair. It's not being reflected in the prison system because these guys are all fucking psychopaths. Like this is Hunter x Hunter or something.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I,
No, these are murderers. They need to be removed from society. Listen, I don't think they need to be executed or rot away in a fucking in the prisons we have here. I think we need another solution to help these people and help them at an early point in their life and be able to figure that out before they get to that point.
Mhm.
But these people cannot be in normal society. Fair
Well,
enough.
yeah.
But that is not the case. That's such a small percentage of people. You in the world in general, and it's a small percentage of in prisons too, bro. Like there's not that many violent murderers out there. Most of the time, it's like in self-defense or like an assault situation. You know what I mean? Like people ain't like that, yo. That's not how the world is.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, look,
people aren't crazy.
yeah, I don't know.
And so that's why I settled on it. Like a lot of that's like, bro, like it's just weird because most of these people had this been real. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like Gentle Criminal would have been a real cornball because it's like, dog, half these people shouldn't even be there anyway. So what are you doing? But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think
It's a
two
manga, so it's just a fake story, right?
yeah,
But
I think two things can be true. I think there could be very well a lot of people that probably don't deserve to be in that prison, but also a bunch of people that do. I don't know. Uh, it's
he's playing around with some serious messages.
I think like
I don't think it's something you can just say that this is just,
yeah, but
oh well, it's just a story. Like people are gonna take away something.
yeah,
from
but what are you
these
gonna
type of
do?
chapters,
You're gonna.
you know what I mean?
I feel like it's also realistic to portray every prisoner as just a person that didn't deserve to be there. Some people are criminals. Some people committed crimes.
What I'm
like
saying
real crimes.
is like, well, I could have the I believe that 100% that in the story these people are all lunatics. You know what I'm saying? It should not be a part of society. What I'm saying is the facts, at least in this country, is that most people locked up shouldn't fucking be there.
Yeah.
And there's better solutions. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's
I don't know.
Contributing to the overall image of like criminals are criminals, and if you do bad, that's that. You go to jail, and you should be there. And it's like that's not thinking critically. You know what I mean? That's not encouraging people to challenge that perception, because that's not true. It's just simply not true in the real world, and people take messages away from comics like this. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to put Horikoshi on the stand. I guess I'm just making a point, and I'm kind of laboring it too, because I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
kind of. I know what you're saying, and I think what you're saying is right, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's nuance in also saying that like a lot of people don't deserve to be in prison, but a lot of people also do. You can't. It's hard to play that numbers game of who really. We don't know every case. We don't know everything. I guess we could, judging on the context of what Gentle Criminal is. Gentle Criminal is someone in theory who wanted to be a hero, could not be one for whatever reason, and became like kind of like a low level criminal in theory. He didn't really hurt anybody. He was just doing these like glorified like phantom robberies, but I don't think he ever really hurt anybody. So Gentle Criminal is an example of somebody who didn't really deserve to be in a maximum security prison. But yeah, I don't know. It's
if any point wants, if I feel like I just want to make the point that like no comic is perfect, no author is perfect. I don't expect people to have all the information and shit. I think that's totally fine. But I just think it is. We had to recognize that these are important topics, and I'll tell you this, Chris, the numbers are out there.
Mhm.
I don't know them off the top of my head, but any one of us could go pull up a video, you know what I'm saying, or an article. The statistics are there, you know what I mean. So, but the issue is that people will read something like this and not think, or not even. It's not even about My Hero Academia. It's about media in general. But I guess that's
Yeah.
another conversation.
Yeah, but I think you could say the
But
protagonist.
I still love this
Yeah,
chapter. Like it made me think.
I think you could still say the protagonist of this chapter, if anything, the offsetting of most of these people being portrayed as bad, the main character of this chapter is what you're talking about. Like somebody who doesn't deserve necessarily to be in a prison like this, and just like kind of following his heart to do what's right, and people recognizing him for it and being like, and hopefully the idea is that this would contribute to a change in the system in a way. There's no way to know until the series ends, but
no, but I do agree with you. I think that is being implied.
it's like
but
for every
the nuance is important though.
Yeah, I mean, for every
it sucks that it's lacking. I wish there could have been more to it. I wish there was more meat to this.
I mean, for every person you can argue is bad, there's a ton of people that are good, and I think that's what this chapter in particular is trying to say, is that like for every person who's saying hell yeah, that's what we want, there's a gentle criminal, there's a Lady Nagant who did some bad stuff, but they had their reasons to do so, and maybe the stuff they did isn't necessarily warranted to put them in the place that they were in the first place, but at the end of the day, it's what matters is that society is seeing that even these people that were deemed and shown to be villains that were dangerous to society and needed to be locked away have the potential to change. And if it can work for people like Lady Nagant and Gentle Criminal, it could probably work for a lot of people. And the reason that these people in this prison are probably as violent as they were is that they were not given the chance, and they didn't have the optimism that Gentle Criminal had to see that, to lose the faith in the society that Gentle Criminal still held on to. But I don't know. I think there's kind of nuance to this if you look for it. But who knows? I mean, this was also a 15-page chapter, so not a lot to really analyze on that front based on like hard evidence.
Lady Nagant wasn't even a criminal.
She was a government.
She's old. If you ask me, she was done dirty. That was the point of her art.
Yeah, she was.
Which is also why I was a little frustrated that it ended the way it did. And it's like, she doesn't need to prove anything. She doesn't need to shoot Shigaraki's hand and save the world. She could have went straight. She could have went to her fucking apartment, cut the fucking TV on, put her feet up, and would have been justified in just being a human being and being able to be free and live. And they should have gave her some fucking money. She should have been able to sue the government and shit.
Yeah.
For what they put her through.
Well, look, this is
broke the rules with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They said, no, we can do that because we're special and we can. And fuck you guys. And you know what? We're done with you too, by the way. So fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Lady Nagant was is in the same position as Hawks. She was like the first Hawks in general. So she was like spirited away. The most of the hero community didn't really know that much about her. She was just kind of like this like Black Ops agent until they didn't need her anymore. And that is her origin story as a villain, because coming out and immediately signing up to work with All for One, that was a system that failed her. That's the thing that, like, we see with Shigaraki and Toga and all these guys, is that it's a systemic failure that creates these people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Lady Nagant, I guess, yeah, she is justified in just going home and doing that. But
at least we're creating her and Hawks.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, but
so there's no other evidence that it affects people systemically.
No, I mean, it was the Safety Bureau or whatever. It was a government agency that was like, do all this stuff for you, and then we'll chuck you aside. And so Lady Nagant is like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna work for this guy who's like trying to take down your shitty society,
Right.
And it's it's all these people. All these villains are just like victims of a systemic change in a world where everybody sees it as kind of like perfect, and they're not awakened to these realities that few people genuinely experience. And Nagant is one of them. It just happened to her a little later than most. So it's nuance in My Hero Academia, even though the chapters are very short. But I don't know. I guess maybe I don't know if I'm giving it too much credit, but I did really love this chapter.
I think you're filling in the gaps a lot, and it's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not, because what you're doing is thinking critically. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to take that for granted from your, for your own self sometimes. You know what I mean? But some people are truly not aware to these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? All we could do
is
what
you're gonna do. Well, we're gonna. That's why I try to speak up when I see weirdo shit going down. In the media that I observe and I intake. We always have to take a moment when it comes to these serious issues.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, all we could do is read, and we come on the show and we say what we say, and we put our stuff out into the universe, and then the universe takes it from there. But
like, if they are talking about football, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Who cares? I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? You say what the fuck you want. Sports, entertainment.
Spirits.
You know what I mean? You talk about chess or something. What was Bakuman about? The manga industry? Well, I guess we could say how maybe it's a light criticism. Go down that route. Whatever. Look.
Yeah.
You know how I feel.
Hey.
I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
I don't even think you really gave your thoughts for this whole chapter, but I think you kind of did too.
I'll just, I mean, I feel like I've said a lot about it, but I will say that it was good. It was really good to see Gentle Criminal again. This was my runner-up, to be honest. I really enjoyed it, and it was just cool. I saw Gentle Criminal coming. I did not see Lady Nagant, and that was a cool little addition.
Yeah.
Especially, like, I'm coming off of recently reading My Hero all the way through again. And like, it was good to have Lady Nagant's story fresh in my mind for this, and seeing her like come back, and her power is pretty fucking dope. A big sniper rifle that her arm just turns into a sniper rifle, and her hair is her bullets. So pretty cool to see everyone. Lots of beautiful art, of course. Whenever they display Gentle Criminal's power in particular, it's always great. Hopefully it could keep this up. I don't know what comes for the next chapter, but this was really cool, and it was a good payoff. I always knew Gentle Criminal would come back, and they Horikoshi, I feel like, stuck the landing with his return, to be honest.
Yo, she still has her hospital.
Yeah, she was blown up from the inside. Like, All for One, like bugged her quirk that he gave her. He gave her like a flying quirk, and it also had a feature where it would self-destruct on his command. And I'm like, you could do that? All right.
Yeah, this nigga's official, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a real asshole. But all right. I guess that's it for My Hero. We gave a good, nice chunk of attention to it. Let us know what you think. We had a big, fun discussion about My Hero Academia, but I am wondering how people are absorbing what we talked about and what they heard or seen from this chapter. So please comment if you're watching it on YouTube. Let us know what you think about this chapter, and yeah, let's move on. Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm going to pass the baton over to Josh, and he's going to cover Jujutsu Kaisen.
All right. Jujutsu Kaisen, Chapter 210, Offering to the Unknown, Part 2. Alternate title. I actually don't have one for this week. Or rather, I don't want to give a whole title of a chapter based off of 2 pages, as much as I wanted to.
Okay.
Last week was interesting. I found out a few things. Found out that American soldiers have finally pulled up to Japan and entered the culling game. We learned the very important fact that each of them get a Kogane.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. And we also get an explanation of their actual purpose, which is, just to die, either to kill people and build up cursed energy, or for them to get killed themselves and then build up cursed energy. That's it. That's all. That's what Kenjaku Jax wants to do. He just wants to build up cursed energy and create a monster.
Yeah, merge a bunch
That's pretty
of people like
straightforward.
Tengen.
Yeah. What's all these other villains have pretty wild plans, and his sounds complicated initially, but then when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, he just
wants to make a cool monster thing.
right, sacrificing most of the people on the planet in the process. Anyway, we're at the beginning of the chapter that starts in the most Jujutsu Kaisen way possible. You have what looks like a troubled person in one panel. You can't really tell if it's them, but they're serving up something in this broken ass dish. And I see this kid sitting down eating something, and she spits out a screw.
Yep. And the screw was in her food.
Yeah, there was a fucking screw in her food. And then it makes sense because on the next page we see that it was one of my favorite cursed spirits to date.
Yeah. Multi-face monster.
Yeah, I like this guy. I like him. It's all right.
It's definitely creative.
Categories.
It's definitely
It's
creative.
very creative. Yeah. I see what's going on. He's like there are different faces to stretch. Like maybe they all look different. I don't know why though. I don't understand why. I don't understand why it's taking care of the kids. I guess it wants to eat them, but there's something weird about it. Like that it's conditioned that it in the past life it cared about children, but now it must consume them. So it's it's crazy world for a cursed spirit. Crazy life. Anyway.
It's wild out here for cursed spirits.
Yeah, so that story took place, and we don't see that ever again. We cut to Megumi and Itadori pressing one of the U.S. military soldiers that they caught up, and they're asking him, oh, like actually he's actually Japanese, he's not American, and they're saying that he's the guy, like he's a traitor. So that's probably why they kept him alive, because he's Japanese. Very real cool guys, real nice. Way to stick together, nice solidarity there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the comedian's like telling him that he sold out of his country, and Traitor's like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." That has nothing to do with what we're trying to say. So They make an interesting point that I actually forgot that Jujutsu headquarters controls the country, right? So, why, like, basically, like they said, like, why didn't Japan try to, like, do the same with curse energy that America's trying to do after Kenjaku told them, like, about curse energy? And it was just like, man, because the headquarters don't want everyone to know about it.
Yeah.
They want to have it all to themselves and be the coolest fucking people.
Yeah, we want to
And
keep our
still wear
key
robes.
powers.
They want to live in Edo, Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know the period.
I
Let me
don't know.
stop spewing ignorance. um, they want to be traditional Japanese people. This guy says no noblesse oblige.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that
Oh
means.
shit, that's not.
I guess I
good.
could look it up while you continue covering the chapter.
Right, everything is about self-responsibility in this country, so to never take hold. I don't really know what he's talking about.
The inferred responsibility of privileged people to act with generosity and nobility towards those less privileged.
Wait, what? Repeat that one more time.
Noblesse oblige. I don't know how to say it. Noblesse oblige. Wait.
Noblesse oblige.
Noblesse oblige is the inferred responsibility of privileged people to act with generosity and nobility towards those less privileged.
Right. That is something that is not.
That does not happen.
We have more of it. Does not happen much. Does not happen much.
It is a
As
fantasy.
a matter of fact, yeah, they do everything they can to keep people down and not help them. Anyway, look, I'm not gonna go word for word on this conversation with you guys. The point is, they figuring out that they gotta stop this cursed energy from being built up one fucking way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Or, Kenjaku's gonna ruin the world. So, Itadori's like, all right, we gotta help them. Like, Kimini's like, bro, like, fuck that. They trying to abduct us, man. They want to bring us back to America and turn us into batteries.
Yeah.
Suck my dick, nigga. What is he talking about? But he's like, like, we have to. If we don't stop him, he's gonna, like I said, he's gonna destroy the world via a big monster. And then Christian's favorite character starts to talk, and he says,
"Is that my favorite
Don't
character?"
bother. It's not. I don't know why I said that.
I don't know why you say that either.
I don't know why I said that, bro. It's gonna be really weird, but I'm gonna break it down right now in the middle of this review.
Mm-hmm.
You like Megumi as a character. You think he's dope.
I think he's cool. Yeah.
You like Megumi more than I like Megumi.
You don't like Megumi?
I do. He's cool.
He's cool.
But there was a point in time where you thought he was way cooler than I thought he was.
Is that what I thought? When did I think
so.
that?
It was before the fight with Receipt Man. Just follow me. So, because there was this gap, I'm like, all right, Megumi is your guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
goddamn,
one of your characters. You know.
And I say I like a character, and he's automatically my favorite. This is what Josh does. You say you like something, and he's like, he loves this thing.
No, I don't want to spoil the rest of the chapter, so I'm going to finish this towards the end. Let's put a bookmark on that. Okay. So, anyway, the fucking mouth on Angel's face. I forget it's actually. I think
the mouth is the
right?
angel.
Yes. The mouth is Angel, and the girl is
Hana.
Well, about to be one of the most important characters.
Oh my god!
I guess. Oh god! This
You already hating? Why are you hating? Why are you hating all of a sudden? She's not.
I'm hating.
She's not important.
You know I'm hating.
She's not important all of a sudden. She was important since the beginning of the culling game. They said.
You know what I mean?
They said we have to find her because she's kind of the key to freeing Gojo.
Yeah, not the key to the fucking joining the crew. Chris, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Listen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So Angel, the mouth on this very important girl's face, starts saying,
don't know why
Hana
you're
and I
better
live in
about this.
symbiosis, so she's in danger, I'm in danger. So don't drag her into a meaningless fight. So like because Itadori he's always ready to just say, fuck it, let's just go and figure it out. And she's like, that doesn't help us. We don't have a plan, so I'm not about to put myself in danger. And then they say, we weren't together to begin with, so let us go our own way. And then they say, this is when things start getting weird for me personally, Chris. You know what I mean? So right at this point, so he says, we weren't together to begin with, so let us go on our way. That's the mouth. That's Angel saying that to Itadori. And the rest of them, not just Itadori specifically, to the rest of the group, right? Like, y'all do what the fuck y'all gonna do. We're gonna go on our own, we're gonna do our own thing. And then Itadori's like, don't be bossy, I don't trust you. And there's like a question mark. And then the girl, again, it's funny because the mouth stays silent. And then like it says, are you talking to the angel or me? Either way, it's unpleasant. And the girl has like an attitude, and I get it now, but it's still, I'm not seeing it.
Well, Josh, now you understand how I feel. When you're like, the angel's important, all of a sudden, Itadori is doing the same thing.
He is.
Itadori is literally also... Itadori is also like, you're all of a sudden important.
Is that what's happening? He's
No,
being irrational?
He is being a little irrational. But I'll explain why at the end.
All right. So then we cut to this. Oh, God, this is crazy. You see what I'm assuming is one of the military soldiers on a fucking hook being like hanged down. And then there's these fishes. And I guess that they're cursed fish.
Yes.
I don't think they're regular fish.
Yes.
So he's fishing for cursed fish that are just there.
And this thing is also a curse.
Yeah. There's a cursed spirit fishing for. He looks like a jelly bean.
He looks like a titan.
He looks like Humpty Dumpty. Yeah. He's fishing. He's fishing using humans as lure, and then the cursed fish are eating it, and then when he snatches them up, he's feeding them to his cursed children, I guess. This shit is wild. Then we got one of them soldiers. He's like, I'm a soldier, so I was prepared. I knew terrorists might off me at some point. Nigga, you're a terrorist. Or I might step on a landmine in the desert at some point. That's wild. At some point. They are terrorists, bro.
No, they're just maybe...
Watch the news in other countries.
Yeah, I know.
About us. Yeah.
It just made me laugh.
America, fuck yeah.
I gotta be better with that timing.
We're gonna blow up your fucking Eiffel Tower and everything else you hold dear. Man, all right. Anyway, yeah, yo. So he's like, I know death. I've been ready to embrace death. I love it. I signed my soul over to the American government. But this shit is different. Who? And I feel him on that. I can't take this. And then he just stops. I don't know why.
There's a light shining down from above.
Yeah, there is a light shining from above. Why?
You know why. The next pages show why.
I don't know. All right. So then we cut to Megumi and his black dog. For whatever reason, he just has it out. And Itadori, they're running in an alleyway, and Megumi's like, this isn't like you. Itadori's like, you sure about that? And Megumi's like, everything else aside, were you referring to the angel and Sukuna? You're gonna have to help.
It's a little vague. Later. It's a little vague, but I think remember.
You want to wait, or
I can explain it right here. I think just in terms of the context of the chapter, I think what he's talking about. We all know that at this point, Angel is after Sukuna. So Megumi is like, are you saying that you don't trust her because of the thing going on with Angel and Sukuna.
Oh,
Because Itadori knows that Angel is after Sukuna.
that's true.
He's
Well,
like-
that's not a secret, right?
It's not a secret. It's a secret between, Megumi and Itadori. They know because
Yeah.
they know that Sukuna's with Itadori. But
Oh, Angel doesn't know that.
Angel
though.
doesn't know.
Mhm. Right. So he's genuinely asking, like, oh, like, is it because of that? Like, that would be weird, but I guess that's the only thing that made sense to him initially. And he's
Mhm.
like, nah. Well, he doesn't say that yet, but now we cut to this other story. So they all knew. Oh, do come back to the story,
Yeah.
but not really.
After.
This
I
is
think.
why I'm upset. They all knew it wasn't their mother, but anyone who cried or complained would suddenly disappear. So gradually, they all fell silent. Later, I learned I had been there about 1 year. Yo, this cursed spirit was just taking care of them,
Mhm.
but not really because it was doing a shit job. But it tried. No, I mean, it killed the girls, but maybe it was abducting girls. I don't know, yo. Maybe they were orphans. Who fucking knows? She says, later I learned, all right, so she says, I followed a dog with a fluffy white tail. There's a girl, I think she's older. She's had it rough. Give her to the cops. You hungry girl. I guess that's somebody. I get it, all right? Because you see Gojo and Megumi, they saved her. I guess they killed the cursed spirit and saved her from the situation.
No, I think here's what it is. She followed a dog one day. She just happened to see one of Megumi's devil dogs. And she just followed it. And the dog led her to them. And then they saved her. I don't think they destroyed the cursed spirit that was holding her. I think she just got away from it. And,
Right.
it led her to Megumi. Because it doesn't say that they destroyed the cursed spirit. They said that.
Oh. I see.
Yeah.
Right. So do you think it said Jesus? Someone finally came, and then they do the whole. I guess actually, I must have went right past this page or something because I don't remember this scene. That was so dramatic. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Fate is all I believe we would someday meet again. So little by little, in hopes of being worthy to stand by your side, I help people.
What?
So Megumi, I'll tell you what in a moment. I would have expected you to be more considerate to Kurusu. That's the girl that's important. And then Itadori says, ever since I rejoined you, I've been afraid of her replacing Kugisaki. And then Megumi is like, don't be dumb. And he says, I'll apologize later. And he says, yes, you better. And then Angel says, don't you have something to say? And then the community just says, on the final panel. So, okay, this was so fucking random to me at first. But now I know, now I understand what the feeling really is. And she has been fucking shoehorned into the equation, bro. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. I wasn't even remotely considering her being a part of the crew for any sustained amount of time until they said, I've been afraid of her replacing Kugisaki. I'm like, what? Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put feelings in my head. That's not how Itadori did not feel that way. No, he did not. I disagree. You're cheating. You're doing this My Hero Academia shit, Gigi, and I don't like it. I need more time. And she's not cool yet. What does she do? And ain't she... Oh God. I guess because the second coolest X-Men ever is Angel. So maybe he thought, yeah, I gotta have an Angel character in my series and make it lit.
Well,
yes.
Here's what I'll say.
Which one are you gonna dispute?
We have not seen the extent of
Angel
her
being number 2, the number 2 X-Men, or
Listen,
everything else.
we don't know the extent of her abilities because all we know is that she shines a light on her cursed spirit, and all of a sudden, it's just not there anymore. So we don't know what
You
her
like that
power.
shit?
We don't know what her
You think
powers
that's
are.
lit?
We don't know
You
what
think
her.
that's
I
lit?
don't know what her powers are. What do you mean? If
But
I
did you-
I never
Alright,
said it.
so when
I'm
you
saying
look
it
at
has
that
nothing to
page-
do with her being lit. We just know she's strong, and that she could just like basically. All she did was shine a light, and then all of a sudden, this cursed spirit is not devouring this man anymore. What are her powers? I don't know, but they're strong, and she has the ability to save Gojo. She's confident enough that she could kill Sukuna.
Oh shit.
Not a lot of people are confident in this world that they could beat Sukuna.
Kenjaku is.
The only person who is confident that they could defeat Sukuna was Gojo.
Oh shit, yeah. He was like, he might give me a problem.
Yeah. Everybody else is like, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yo, Gojo really is the best.
Yeah, Gojo's
He
like,
literally said that shit in the second chapter.
yeah, he's like, he might give me some trouble, but I'd win. I might have to
There you
go all
that's the
out.
series right there.
I might have to go
I
all
might-
out against him, but
Might.
but yeah, I mean, look, I know.
Nah, Kukasaki's not dead, man.
I don't think so either, man. I'm well, at least I'm hoping not. You know?
Why would he do this? Why would he do it like that?
Okay, wait.
Because I felt like he did this for us, for the fans, like to let us know, like, yep, she's about to replace her. Even though no one could ever replace her, she's gonna be replaced.
No.
What did he change his mind? He's like, you know what? She's actually
Well,
not that dope of a character. Let me
Listen,
restart.
you are also forgetting the massive tension of the second that she finds out that Itadori is Sukuna. It's not a good thing. She's not friends with them, really.
That's what's gonna make the dynamic better. That's what I'm worried about.
That's what's
bro.
happening.
What you're telling me not to worry about is what I'm worried about, Chris.
I think this is Akutami speaking to us about the opposite way. Is that Angel will not replace Kugisaki. And the character still, like, the way you replace Kugisaki is that if Angel completely takes over and they forget about her. But Megumi being like, don't be fucking stupid. Of course she can't replace her. Nobara's the GOAT. Nobara's our friend. You don't replace
Gotta
Nobara.
apologize to no fucking body, yo. That's how I feel.
Who?
Who he gotta apologize to?
He was rude to Angel.
No, the fuck he wasn't.
He was.
Angel's rude.
He was like, shut up.
And so's Kurusu.
Yeah, I don't know. He was being overly hostile when he didn't technically have to yet. She doesn't know. She doesn't know the truth. That he's Sukuna. Sukuna. What are your other thoughts?
I don't have too many other thoughts, I guess. I guess you should have gave your thoughts.
Yeah, I have a little
first.
something. I have a little something. I really enjoyed this chapter, first of all. I think I really like the simplicity of Angel's story. I don't think you need a whole complex backstory for characters necessarily. And who knows? We could see a lot more.
Now this. By the way, did JJK get the audience?
Oh yeah, it did actually.
It did?
Yeah,
Fuck, I
this
just
is
drew a line.
no, yeah. I mean, you didn't let me. I was gonna reveal it at the end, but yeah.
No, that's my fault. That's my fault. I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
Jumped the
Well,
gun.
anyway, this was the audience voted really good chapter of the week.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
It won with like 58% of the vote, so pretty good. I think it was second. I think like My Hero Academia and Black Clover were tied, and One Piece probably had like one vote to it.
Jujutsu.
But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen won the really good chapter of the week. And if you guys want to vote, subscribe to the channel so you never miss the community poll that we put up whenever the chapters drop on the official Viz website. That's where we pretty much cover the chapters. That's why we're covering technically, if you're going by Scanlation's last week's chapters. But yeah, subscribe to us and vote for your favorite chapter of the week, and we'll announce it every week. But yeah, I mean, I really like this chapter. I think there's a couple interesting things. Like I was saying, I liked Angel's backstory. I don't think you need like a big bombastic backstory for every character to get their motivation across and who they are. And, you know, that's not to say that we won't see more from Angel, you know, about her backstory, or Hana. Sorry, I keep forgetting her name, so I just call her Angel. But Angel and Hana are two different people, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is cool a niceness in their simplicity. But also it's a little bit of a double-edged sword where I was also confused in reading it, how she came to meet Megumi in general. And I kind of had to put the pieces together. I don't know if Akutami is doing that intentionally, you know, because he wants to save certain details of Hana's backstory for later or what. But this is a little bit of a track record for him where there's like a little bit of omission in certain details, and it's hard to see how they got from point A to point B sometimes in backstories and whatnot. So I put together my interpretation of what happened, I guess, through the context clues and how the chapter flowed into itself and the information we were given. And part of the information we weren't given is whether Megumi and Gojo actually defeated the curse, which it doesn't seem like they did. The I Followed a Dog seems that this is a story being told from Hana's perspective, and that she just happened to see the devil dog and just followed it, and it brought her to Megumi and Gojo. So that's what I put together. But, you know, in the simplicity of Angel's backstory, a little bit of somewhat important detail is left out. I don't know what happened to that curse that was looking after the kids. It could
still out there.
It's probably.
I kind of hope so.
Yeah, but this panel with the devil dog and Hana was kind of cute. I like that it was like a cute little dog with her and all that stuff. It was a little
yeah. I'm surprised it didn't eat her.
You know, there's this other thing where Angel's like pointing, you know, in that famous painting. I don't know what it's called, but you know the painting when you see it where it's God touching man, and Akutami basically recreated it with Angel and this soldier. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, I like this little backstory for Hana, and you know, I'm glad that she's a good person, or seems to be a good person with all this power.
Yeah, Angel's not.
Angel's probably, what's the word? Not affiliated with either side, as long as Angel's goal is fulfilled of killing Sukuna, which is a good goal. Sukuna's a piece of shit. He's not a good person to keep around. So,
right.
You know,
I agree.
Anyway, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. It was good to see Nobara again. I'm in the middle of a Jujutsu Kaisen read through again, and I'm in the part where they're actually fighting the cursed wombs, and I'm getting refreshed on their whole deal.
Oh.
So that's nice, and I got to see Nobara actually defeat people like that. Use her resonance and stuff. That shit was so cool. Now Nobara was so fucking awesome. I hope she's not dead. Fuck. Oh my god. You guys are not ready for season 2, anime watchers. People really went crazy for Jujutsu Kaisen when the anime came out, and all I'm saying is, and it's the same for Chainsaw Man. I'll say this: you guys haven't seen shit yet. You're about to get into the good part. If season 2 hits Shibuya. Because I think it's going to start with Gojo's backstory, and then that leads into Shibuya. I don't know if they're actually going to make it.
Robot Man.
Yeah, they have to get
forget about that.
Yeah, they have to get through Mekamaru. Yeah, you got to get through Mekamaru versus Mahito.
It was so out of nowhere, like when that happened.
Hey, I mean, maybe it won't be as out of nowhere as I think, because I'll be reading through it and I'll get to that point.
Yeah, remind me.
So far,
he was supposed to be a traitor at first.
So far, pretty good read through. Honestly, I'm getting like, now that I understand Jujutsu Kaisen's world more, reading it through the first time, going back and just getting like the pieces of the puzzles filled out has been kind of fun. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm very excited for what happens next week. Never replaced Nobara. Nobara cannot be replaced. All right. You ready to move on?
Yes, don't accept Kurusu.
You can accept Kurusu without forgetting about Nobara or replacing Nobara.
I said what I said.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move on. Black Clover. This is Black Clover chapter 348, Determined. Last we left off, Asta came in and saved Ichika from her illusion father. Yeah, from herself, from her illusion dad, coming in and chopping her in half. Yeah, he's in his demon mode form. He's on demon timing, and he's conferring with Lieb within his body, and he's like, it's some kind of transformation, an enemy spell. It looks like Ichika's relatives. Is like it's showing her an illusion. So, and Asa's like, yeah, I figured there's no way anybody could corner Ichika in a fair fight. Anybody? I'm sure some people could corner her in a fair fight in this universe.
No, she's clearly the strongest. Stop it, Chris.
Make her the Wizard King.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
right? Have her beat Lucius. I forget his name already.
Lucius? I think it was Lucius. Man.
Lucius, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get the point. She's the best.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Anyway, Beastman is like, human hearts are weak. That goes for your skills too, doesn't it? He's like, she was pathetic. Even watching that was painful. And he uses the boogeyman to create a new illusion of Asta in his most doubtful moment, being like, I can't be Wizard King. He's like, I'm going to traumatize you with your own self-doubt.
His hand looks so scrawny too.
Yeah. He's like, what? You're scared of yourself? What's wrong with you? I'll set you free. He's like, die and accept Master Lucius's protection. And yeah, he's just getting he's just getting talked down to by his double. And he's like, what I'm scared of is my own weak self. Until the next panel is just a big slash through on Asta. We think it's the real Asta, but it's actually the fake Asta, as real Asta has cut him in half. And he's like, I just got back from slashing my own weakness. Unfortunately for you, I had some character development.
Just a few minutes ago.
Yo, if you just got here a couple hours earlier, you would have had me, dude. But I went through some serious self-growth. I had the dude bro tell me the millionaire mindset, and and now I got my confidence back. So he's like thinking to himself about how, like, I don't have the talent, but that's why I must get stronger. He's like, work hard to make it happen. Millionaire grind set, no excuses. So he's just determined
Wake up every morning.
Do your push-ups. Do 3 billion push-ups. No excuses. So yeah, he's just going off on this, like, do more than the geniuses who already have more what it takes. Since I don't have talent, I don't have time to waste. I've got no time to be afraid. Just get stronger so I can win, so I can protect, so I can save. And I'm like, God damn, Asta. So he's like, just keep on getting stronger. That's the kind of Wizard King you want to be. Be determined to become the strongest. And we get a pretty cool drawing of Asta looking determined. And Beastman is just like, man, that sucks. Fuck this dude. He turned into...
Yeah.
He's like, in that moment, he just recognized a tough enemy and he just started going in. He pulls a Bellamy. He just starts like bouncing around everywhere. He's like, a human could never be matched for a paladin. And as he comes closer, this is literally the Bellamy and Luffy fight almost. except for a punch.
What?
It literally ends with just like a cool sword swipe, and the guy is defeated. And
Cuts his hand in half.
Yeah.
His arm in fucking half, basically.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
They don't show it though when he falls on the ground. I thought they was gonna show his hand like bread.
Well,
it's not.
It explains that like Ichika sees that his Yoryoku has changed and reverted, and the big the strong guy, the strongest guy on the Reason 7 is like, I bet he only slashed the magic of the paladin or whatever that thing was. So he basically just cut the magic and not necessarily the person. So I guess like that's all just evil juice leaving his system.
Sure.
So he has anti-magic Zetten even, and it lets him move after his opponents tip their hands and win no matter what.
Huh?
So there you go. It's the ultimate Counter-Strike. So I'm sure there's more to it than that. It sounds extraordinarily broken, but we'll have to see. So he turns over to Sister, and he's like, "Sister, I'll save you now." And that's where the chapter ends.
You're next.
You're next. Oh, my screen. Josh, what did you think about this chapter, about Black Clover chapter 348?
Nigga, what you think? This is classic Asta coming to save the day. But did you peep on this 2-page spread how it says Z10?
Z10?
Yeah. Did you notice?
No.
It's on page 15 and 14.
Oh yeah, it does say that. That is cool. This was a cool 2-page spread. I didn't mention it in the moment, but that I joked about it being like Bellamy versus Luffy, but this was a dope ass 2-page spread.
Boy, it does not get more shonen than this. First of all, I mean, you got the girl on the bottom right corner. Just you have to have somebody amazed by what just happened, or it doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got your shorty there watching, or the girl you like watching, or a whole crowd of people, then it really don't count for shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When you use your new flashy moves and forms and stuff. Yeah, and then this was cool. This could be a poster.
That could be a poster, but the Zetten really pulls it together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought when the guy, you know what, there was somebody that left a really interesting comment on our last video, on Black Clover, and he mentioned something about the beast magic guy, and that it might.
I think that's Southwind. He comments on a lot of our Black Clover stuff.
Yeah.
Southwind
Shout
PRR.
out to you, bro.
You're a real MVP. We have shitty.
You left the nigga something to think about too. Southwind, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Southwind PRR. He's like, he comes on and he comments on our Black Clover. He's honestly very helpful because I just be forgetting stuff about Black Clover. It's one of the few series that I've only read once through, and so my memory goes to shit eventually. It happens to all of them. Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia. I've only read it like each of those series like once over. So sometimes I read through series a couple times just to refresh myself on certain things. I haven't gotten over to Black Clover yet, so he's been a very fun resource, and I appreciate that from one of our listeners. Yeah,
for sure. Thanks, bro. But well, with all that said, I forgot what it was he actually said. But
he said, I actually I have his comment about which one, the beast one. He says that the paladin is a bit sus, uses beast magic like a certain elf. Veto did use a strange body at the first reincarnation, whereas the second body was artificially named.
When it was.
Oh, okay.
Remember those 3 things? The people being reincarnated, and one of them was Magicula or whatever. You know, he was.
Yeah. So the second,
Lucifer, I mean.
Remember when Veto came back at the end of the last arc, and he's just using an artificially made body. So
Yeah.
I think he's saying that the other one paladin was a dead person. It's hard to say. Is he using? I don't know. Are you applied that he's using like Veto's old body?
Maybe. Because there wasn't. All right. This is just me. These are my thoughts. But remember the guy that was in the water like area? That real strong guy. Didn't he use beast magic? Wasn't that his shit?
Water area.
Yeah, when they went to that whole water zone, man. Oh shit.
This is why we need people like Southwind.
It was real early in the series,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, no,
It
you're
wasn't
right.
the Heart Kingdom. It was
I wish I could look back. Let me see.
they were underwater, yo. It was like this underwater kingdom or something like that. And they had to fight like his peoples, and then like during it was like a test. And then during the test, they all got attacked by that crew, that first evil crew.
Mm-hmm.
At the Alpha, the midnight. I forget the fucking name.
Yeah.
Well,
whatever. It doesn't matter.
I'm giving thoughts on the chapter, right? We're
Yeah.
finished?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to give him a shout out. That's good. I'll be more prepared next time. If you got
Yeah, me
something
too.
more to say, I want to address it because he brings a lot of insight to Black Clover. So thanks.
Mm-hmm.
But man, when he started jumping around everywhere, I just started dying laughing because first of all, I knew what time it was. I knew Asta was about to one shot him.
Oh yeah.
Not even just win. I knew he was about to one shot him
Mm-hmm.
because he got scared. He got scared when he looked at Asta's face and was like, "Oh shit!" He instinctively turned into combat form. He didn't do it on purpose
Mm-hmm.
because he was just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it reminds me of like One Punch Man when Flashy Flash was
Oh yeah, he did that
ninja
too.
guy. Yeah, he was like bouncing around everywhere. He was like, "Look at my magnificent speed," and he's just standing there like, "Okay."
Damn,
Just
One Punch
following
Man's so
him
good.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, he did that, right?
Exactly what- yeah, he was. He's looking everywhere.
Yeah,
he
his
was going.
head followed him exactly. One Punch
And he
Man.
didn't notice at first. He was like, "Wait, actually, as a matter of fact,
You think he's watching me?
Followed me this whole time."
Oh my god.
That's what's funny as hell
One
about
Punch-
that series is that they'll start on a joke and then they'll add on like they'll
Yeah.
start being like, "Wait, actually, I didn't notice." But
You know what
he
that
really
reminded?
wasn't giving a fuck.
I guess as long as we're talking about One Punch Man, you know what that reminded me of just now? Remember when the dog was fighting Garo, and he was just doing the
What
shake?
dog?
The dog watchdog hero.
Oh,
the
yeah,
one who
yeah,
just wears the
yeah.
dog outfit.
Yeah, he kept handshaking him, but he kept fucking him up too.
He got my like handshake every time Garo tried to come in with one of the like strikes like that. He went like
He just was like, "Oh."
he's doing a shake. God
Like
damn.
that's it. He couldn't understand. He was trying to like beat it.
Oh my god, One Punch Man is so fucking funny, man. But anyway, go on. I'm sorry, we got off on a tangent of One Punch Man.
Yeah. Nah, I don't really have too many deep thoughts on the chapter. I mean, I get it. Asta is ready to. He overcame the very brief moments that he had of doubting himself.
God.
And it powered him up that much. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, what amounted to like 3 hours of doubt is in his entire life.
Mm-hmm. A very incredible, the briefest.
Yeah, relative to the rest, Asta's a pretty confident character. Relative to the rest of his life, this was like the first mental block he's ever had.
Yeah.
Which I can
I mean,
understand why that.
Luffy's levels of confident.
Yeah, and you could understand
And
why
it's
that
not
would be
even fair
jarring.
to compare him to Luffy because Luffy's not even confident. He just doesn't give a fuck
Yeah.
about anything else.
Mhm.
It's different. It's
Mhm.
different.
Mhm.
Luffy is insecure. You just would never know because he doesn't care.
Well, the thing is, like the one time Luffy really lost confidence in himself, he thought his entire crew was dead.
Yeah.
It took potentially murdering his entire crew for him to be like, maybe I'm not shit after all.
Yeah, he was down and out on that.
Asta just lost a
Nick Island.
spar. He was like, man, I ain't shit.
Who the Wizard King mixed with the holiest of devils?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, he lost a battle to the Wizard King, the
Doesn't
sitting
sound right.
Wizard King, and then he lost a spar to Ichika because he just didn't understand the power system there yet. He's hard on
Yes.
himself, bro. This is negative self-talk. We got to talk to
Yeah.
Asta.
And now he's about to set it on the sister. She looked concerned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, huh.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. I might have to go report this.
Hmm.
I might have to go tell Lucius that I struggled in a fight.
I mean, if she even survives this, if she even leaves.
Yeah, the archetype is already switching. It's happened so fast.
Hmm.
He was just saying, oh, just a chapter ago.
Yeah, just, oh.
Anyway, those
Yeah.
are my thoughts. That's everything I had to say.
Yeah, my thoughts are, I really like this chapter.
Really, really liked it?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, you know, it's as per usual with us. We kind of like take the piss out of Black Clover a little bit, but for being as shown as it is. But I like this chapter quite a bit. I think like the overall message that of Asta in this moment is very good. You know, you want to encourage like people to have a good work ethic and realize that to a degree you can make your own destiny, and you should always strive to be the best you can be. So I appreciate that message a lot, and I think it's a really good one to have in a series aimed at younger folk.
Mm.
So yeah, I liked it a solid amount. I don't know about his powers being that the ability to move after his opponents tip their hand and win no matter what is a pretty wild way to word that, but
That is an incredible way to word that.
yeah, I'm sure it's more than meets the eye, but yeah, as far as we know right now, yeah, I'm excited to see what he means by that in a sense. But anyway, that's all I got to say about Black Clover. Do you have any rebuttals or anything?
Mm.
All right, let's move onward then. Undead Unluck. And I'm pass it over to Josh as he wants to cover Undead Unluck.
I do. Undead Unluck.
This is a long chapter.
Number 143. So last week, Fuko tried her hardest to get Void. What's his name? His name is Void, right?
Yeah, Void Volks.
Yeah, Void. Yeah, to get Mr. Volks to take her seriously to get in a boxing match with her. Because you know the goal is to activate his negator ability. Excuse me, guys. To unlock his negator ability without there being a tragedy or people's life being lost. You know. So yeah, they thought the best way to go about it was for Fuko herself to fight against him so that he wouldn't kill somebody else, and that, yeah, I guess well, we're going to see how it goes now. We're going to see how her theory goes. All right. So yeah, they getting into the ring. They're talking about having a good time. Nico's like, look, use your unluck and fuck that nigga up. All right? Just all you gotta do is touch him. You got this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he's just reminding her, like, look, the objective is to just, activate his negator ability. That's that. All right? And she's like, yeah, got you. So, they start their fight. It's cool because this chapter gave me Hajime no Ippo vibes. But at the same time, it made me appreciate that manga so much more because, wow, I mean, not to shit on Undead Unluck. I mean, the art is great, and I did like all of these panels, and I loved the chapter and all that, and how it looked. But it's just night and day the comparison. Like in Hajime no Ippo, someone going for a swing could take 3 pages just to show the development of like how much power went in, like the stored power being released. It makes you really appreciate that stuff. But anyway, Fuko rushes in, and Andy takes a peekaboo stance, meaning he's ready to get in and take hits,
Do some infighting.
in order to do some infighting. He ain't gonna be dancing around like Muhammad. Shout out to a legend. Rest in peace. Have you ever watched Baki, by the way?
I have not. I never watched Baki. I know it's on Netflix.
You know they had Muhammad Ali and his son in it?
Yeah? That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's you gotta watch that shit.
I do.
I need somebody else's opinion. It is a wild
fucking
series.
I know. I read the first few chapters when we were in high school, and I was like, this is
mega
crazy.
trope. When I tell you tropes, nigga, you know when people say, oh, that's from that. That's from fucking Baki.
No,
I didn't know.
This is I mean, Baki's an old manga. Baki is from like
yeah, you could tell. Bro, it's like a fucking artifact, man. You can tell by like how they talk and shit. And the way the stories are structured.
When did Baki start? Let me see. You go on.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta get this last one thing out about Baki. Bro, there was this whole arc where this one character pulled up to Japan and beat a bunch of people, right? He beat a bunch of them. He took them by surprise and fucked them up, right? And then literally like a few days later, he ran into a bunch of those same people and they fucked him up. And they was like, oh, we were just like, not all of them fucked him up at once. He kept running into people one after another, right? And they were all like, oh, now I'm really being serious. And I was just like, they all kept, the whole series is that.
Yeah, Baki started in 1991.
Bro, the whole series is, now I'm gonna be serious. Oh, now I'm actually.
Looks like I have to try.
Despite the trope, it's good. It's good, man.
I'm excited. I'll watch
first season. It's weird though. It's like broken up in
I know.
weird pieces.
I feel
I don't know what comes first, but I'll tell you, there's only one you have to really watch. That's good.
Yeah, I feel like,
and that's the one with the inmates when they all break out.
I think that's further. Like, I think that's the part that's further, because I know that the other
probably.
one.
Fuck.
Well, I'm excited.
Damn it. That's all.
Muhammad Ali.
There's another one when he's like in prison or something like that.
Yeah, that's further.
That's the one with Muhammad Ali. The one I told, the third one, I guess. That one with all the prison people break out. It's crazy, man. It is. That shit is crazy.
Well, I'll check it out.
Japanese people are the strongest, by the way. There's no doubt about it in that series. They let you know that too.
Oh yeah.
They meet people from different races, and they go, and time again they prove it to you that Japanese is superior. Yeah, it is so funny because they have like one of the fighters is American. Anyway, Undead Unluck. So, I went on a I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Y'all should watch Baki and y'all should read Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah.
So, boy goes into his peekaboo stance, and Fuko hits him with the 1-inch punch, like this is Kill Bill or some shit. Boom, and I guess he blocked it, but did he really block it? Not really, because that's it. It's over. Unluck. You got caught, bro. Now a meteor's about to fall on you or something. Or maybe your pants are going to fall down. You'll be really embarrassed and forfeit. You can't avoid the embarrassment. That's how unavoidable will happen. Well, anyway. And he's like, he basically, I don't think he commends her. Oh, no, never. I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up. She hit him with that punch before, like when they had a standstill in the last chapter, and she notices that it doesn't do the same damage it did like last time, and that when she hit Nico with that shit, he couldn't eat for 3 days. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And
So-
then so then yeah, they're all anticipating like the the rest of Fuko's crew are like, yeah, the unluck's about to happen, and then nope. He just fucking hits Fuko through her guard and sends her all the way to the bands, to
the ropes.
to the ropes. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot the name.
The bands.
That kind of shit like it was Smash Brothers, bro.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh yeah.
she got sent, nigga, and he comes rushing in. Yeah, that looks so crazy. And then he just starts to unleash a barrage on her, but she's like dodging. She's doing her thing. And then she's kind of faltering, and then Void makes a read on where she's about to move to, and then right as he's about to land a hit, she's saved by the bell, literally. And he's like,
Mhm.
"What are you hiding? I must know. Show me your secret techniques, because you is bitch made right now. You ain't like, this is fool. You fool. What happened? What happened to all that shit you was talking?" And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, come on, don't you know more karate or something? You fought Fang.
Yeah,
You fought the realest nigga alive.
that's true. Well, I mean, she used her negation ability for that.
Yeah, she did. She did. So anyway, so right as the round ends, she's like watching in amazement. She's like, "Guess I was too obvious." And she gets fucking snatched up by Nico, and they're like, "Yo, what's wrong with you? Why you not using the unluck? Like, you trying to die? Because you are gonna die. You did just die, actually, but we put your soul back in your body after that hit." And she's just like, "Nah, like, it doesn't, like, I can't do that. Like, I gotta fight him for real, because I have to actually unlock his ability, and I'm not gonna do that by cheating. And also, I want to give him a real fight, because it's gonna be the last time he has a boxing match, because he's about to save the world with us." It's so crazy how like commanding she is about that. Like, oh yeah, and this will be his last fight, so that's the least I can do.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, okay, Fuko.
All right, Fuko. Damn.
So so round 2 starts, and he's like, "Oh, you ready to fight for real now?" And he notices that she's like charging up from a distance, like Lil Mac. And he goes, "Oh," with his V, and she just dashes straight to him and punches him through the fucking guard. It looks like, and he ate it. He ate it with no problem and said, "Yeah, that wasn't it. This ain't the strong hit you hiding, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So he just starts bang, 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 hitting her with a whole fucking barrage again. And another rush down, and she's up against the ropes. This girl, Tatiana, right? That's her name? No, not Tatiana.
Gina.
Unmoved Gina. She's about ready to jump in the ring and kill Void herself. But Void's telling her this whole time, like, "Give me what you got. Like, I want to have the best possible match with you, little girl.
Little girl.
Little girl. Give me my best possible matchup." So, they're all worried, and she's looking slumped on the ropes, and Void walks away because he's like, "You're done." And she gets back up and punches him right in the fucking face. Let's go, Fuko. She was not like this at all before.
Nope.
Yeah, so she starts talking about how I'm not using any negation ability. I thought that'd be a disservice to who you are now. And I want to make your final match the best one possible. Yeah, well, she mentions what I mentioned before. It's funny because I forgot she said that shit straight to his face. And he has no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah, she's like, "All right."
Like, they go, "Well, what? Whatever. All right, let's just get it." He said, "Thanks. Without a shadow of doubt, out of all the challenges I face, you are the best at being a boxer." That's sad. I actually feel bad for his career.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Fuko's formidable, but damn.
Yeah, she's just had no formal
Never?
training. Imagine
Right.
being one of the guys he fought and just be like, "She's never had a boxing match in her life."
Oh.
All right, well, fuck my drag.
Did these mean nothing?
I know I lost, but I'm not a joke.
What a fucking joke. Yo. Anyway, as he starts getting so fucking souped up and ready to fight this short, childlike woman, he notices that something's wrong. Adolescent, and the adolescent lookalike opponent in front of him is just standing still as she gets hit with the craziest of punches.
Yeah, the
With
detail.
she wasn't able to guard. Oh, he should have. And he's like, avoid it, Fuko. He knows. It's like he knows that there's nothing. Like she's just standing there. He's like, maybe he doesn't know that the ability's happening. I think he's just like, why are you just standing to take my punch? Like, you're ruining this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Knocks her the fuck out. And then Gina catches her. Oh, yeah, she's not knocked out. I forgot. Gina picks her right back up, and he's like, huh? Michael Jackson? And she hits her right in the fucking ribs again in the same spot as before. He's like, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't care if you're cheating or whatever. I don't care if you're cheating or whatever. You're still willing to fight with me, aren't you? She went from being the best boxer to I don't give a fuck if you're cheating. He just wants to fight.
Yeah, he just wants violence in his life at all times.
He's like, right. He's like, I'm gonna make sure this is the best match it could be. And it's time for some negator boxing. Now she's gonna start using unluck.
Yeah.
That's the end of the chapter. Woo! That was I felt like I was on a treadmill or something, man.
This is a long
Maybe
chapter.
It was all that talk.
This chapter was 24 pages long.
Oh shit. Yeah, it wasn't just me. See, that's how you do it, My Hero Academia. That's how the fuck you do it. See how they have all these big panels, but it isn't sacrifice? Yeah, that's right, Chris. Always an opportunity.
Always an opportunity to hate. Spew hate. I guess I'll get into my thoughts then. I thought this was a really good chapter, to be honest. I love the fucking. I agree with you. I mean, like, it's not going to be the most detailed boxing manga in the world, but I don't really go to Undead Unluck for that anyway. So
no,
it's fine with me. I guess it could be a really on the surface thing. Certain panels in this chapter were so good. You know, a lot of like whenever he wanted like a punch to have like this really dramatic impact, you definitely felt it because there's the first unavoidable punch was crazy because the detail on Fuko's face is like kind of minimal, but it still feels so like realistic in the way the face folds into itself in a way to show the momentum of the punch. I love the punch right after that too when Fuko like countered. You could just see the intensity in her face and all that stuff, and in this very stylized manga way. It's a really well drawn chapter. It's a big boxing match, so there's not a lot in the way of story itself. You know, like it's a big action chapter. So like the real what's it called? The real advancement in the story is just Void is awakened to be able to use unavoidable, and Fuko not using her negation until he unlocked his is the real meaning of like his real last battle, because that will be the last battle he ever has as like a legit, just straight up human boxer. You know, like that's
right.
Because after this, his life's about to change.
That's true.
He's about to go through dramatic
never be able to have
change.
a fair fight.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see why she needs unavoidable so bad. So
that could be a clutch ass ability.
It is a clutch ass ability. It's not that like I'm saying like what kind of ability is this, but I feel
that
like
might be the key.
Yeah, I just think she has like a certain plan for this ability in general, and I'm very excited to see what it is. In general, I really like this chapter. I wonder what negation boxing is going to look like, because now she's going to be using unluck at this point. So
light's going to be falling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Stage is going to break.
I mean, don't accidentally kill him.
Right.
Then you're really fucked.
Yeah.
But that's all I got to say about this chapter. Josh, what did you think?
I'm just so proud of Fuko as a character.
She's
This
come a
is
long way.
I keep saying this, but this is exactly what I wanted to see out of her. I didn't think she'd be this all around champion though,
Yeah.
you know. But I love to see it. I can't believe the series is still going. I can't. It was not looking good, man. And I don't mean like it wasn't looking good. I mean the writing, whatever. I'm not going to belabor that point. Let me just stick to the chapter. He did such a good job with making this an actual drawn out fight and not just a fight of words and a few punches.
Mm-hmm.
This is a match. She's trying to she's trying to get at him the best she can. You know what I mean? Which is like why she had to hold it down until his negator ability unlocked, right? Before
Mhm.
she could start doing it out of respect. But she knew she was in for like a major fucking challenge, and I think that showed so much guts and courage and also confidence in herself that she knew like she wasn't gonna just get pushed over. Like
Mhm.
I like seeing all of this from Fuko. That's just the thing that stands out the most. Void is pretty cool too. I mean, he's Andy, but whatever.
He's Tandy.
Tandy. I'm gonna write that down. Just kidding. Probably not gonna use it, but I'm gonna write it down anyway.
Yeah. Do it anyway. I might use it.
Just for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of these panels are great. I mean, Fuko getting punched in her face. My favorite part was when he said, "I don't care if she's cheating." Good, because you was cheating too, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a cool chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Loving the growth.
Yeah. Is that okay? So, yeah, I guess we're done then. That was Undead Unluck, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Wow, this is a long one. we went on for quite some time here, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry we were late. Sometimes life gets in the way, but
sometimes life.
Yeah, but you know, we'll be back in our regular time next week. Very excited to do so. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you can find me at the Chris Hospital on Twitter and Instagram, Josh at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow him when he's streaming on twitch.tv/itspunchline. He plays video games for the people. Check him out there. Follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Please do. That would be cool. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, or comment underneath the video version of the podcast on YouTube, whether it's the full version of the podcast or the little highlight breakouts we make for you guys every week. Subscribe to the podcast while you're at it on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a share. Subscribing to the podcast also gives you access, or keeps you up to date on the really good chapter of the week poll that you guys can vote for your favorite chapter of the week. And we will put it on, we will announce the winner on the show itself. So take part in that. Very excited to have it on YouTube. So subscribe and never miss the poll. If you prefer audio podcasts, we're on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're there. So check us out. And that's it for us this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. And we will see you guys next week. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.